America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. So and sorry that I'm a few minutes late this morning. Welcome, everybody. Former Congressman Joe Walsh. Thanks for joining our daily show, The Social Contract with Joe Walsh. I'm extremely pissed off and righteously angry with what I'm about to talk about this Thursday morning. So I'm going to do my best, my level-headed best, to be as measured as I can be. And let me start with my headline. Until Trump is either dead or in prison, every election in this country, every single election in this country must be a referendum on him. Say that again. I'll say that again slowly. Until Trump is dead or in jail, every election we have in this country must be a referendum on him. Who he is, what he represents, what his party is, what his party represents. Is that what you want America to be? Full stop. I'm not a political consultant, you can tell. Ain't about the price of eggs. Ain't about flat wages. Ain't about Obamacare subsidies, extending them, all important stuff. As long as he is alive, as long as he is still around, because of what he has done, because of what he is, every election must be a referendum on him. His America. Is this what you want America to be? Full stop. Look, I've only been a Democrat for 6 months. Actually, 6 months to this date. I became a Democrat exactly 6 months ago, June 4th of this year. And I know, man, there's a running battle in the Democratic Party, in my new party. Oh my God, we got to win the House. We got to win the Senate. We got to get the White House back. To do that, what do we do? Do we talk about eggs? Do we talk about groceries? Do we talk about affordability? Do we talk about wages? Do we talk about healthcare? Do we talk about Trump? Do we talk about democracy? What do we do? What do we do? Do we talk about immigration enforcement? Do we talk about Trump, or do we talk about issues? That's always been the debate since Trump came on the scene. Because Trump is such a force for evil, because Trump is so bad and so horrible and so cruel and so ignorant and so corrupt and so lawless and so un-American, and because every single day for the past 10 years he says and does hundreds of cruel, ignorant, dishonest, un-American things, it presents a problem. To beat him, to beat Republicans, he's in our grill every day, right? Doing all of his bad, ugly, cruel stuff every day. Do we as Democrats, to defeat him, to defeat Republicans, do we talk about him? Do we focus on the 1,000 lies he tells a day? Or no, the smart political consultants tell us, no, Joe, talk about the price of meat. Donald Trump is a 100,000% threat to democracy. Do we talk about that? No, say the Democratic consultants. Talk about the price of coffee. Again, I'm a former congressman. I'm a former candidate for president. I ain't a political consultant. I begin and end by saying we talk about him. We talk about him. The very thing our founding fathers feared is in the White House. If we can't talk about that, if that's not the most important thing, America has two political parties, and one of our two political parties is an authoritarian embracing cult led by a fascist, right? Think about it. The Republican Party is led by a fascist. My former political party is anti-democracy and anti the rule of law. I'm sorry, every American listening to me right now. That's a hell of a lot more important than the price of eggs, the price of beef, the price of coffee. But it's a debate, right? And smart political brains and consultants, and you turn on CNN or MSNBC and you see Axelrod and Rahm Emanuel and all these other really smart guys saying, no, don't get trapped. Don't get caught up into talking about Trump, man. I know Trump lied 234 times today. I know that Donald Trump has masked federal agents disappearing immigrants off of our streets, but don't, Joe, get caught up into the trap of responding to all of the bad stuff Trump does every day. Just talk about the price of coffee. Talk about affordability. Say all the smart political minds. I disagree. I disagree strongly. And I look at what's happened the last couple of days. I look at what Trump has done in the White House the last 2 days, the People's House the last 2 days. I listened to him 2 days ago and yesterday hang with me, publicly utter the ugliest, cruelest, most bigoted, most racist, most xenophobic, most un-American shit against immigrants, against brown and black immigrants, against Somalians, against Somalian-Americans that I've ever heard, that we've ever heard publicly. A lot of people say, a lot of average Americans say racist and bigoted and ugly shit against immigrants, brown, black immigrants, privately every single day in this country. This was the president publicly as the cameras were rolling in the White House, throwing out this bigoted, un-American crap for the world to hear. He did it 2 days ago. He did it again yesterday. And I went to bed last night, and I'm going to try to keep the sun out of my eyes so you can see my mug because I actually shaved today. And I went to bed last night and I'm thinking, no, put every single other issue aside. America, is this what we want? Do we want an open racist, an open bigot in the White House. We have to make the election again about him. I know you want to talk about eggs. I know you want to talk about beef. I know you want to talk about healthcare. I know you want to talk about the price of coffee, but I'm sorry. We have a proudly open, racist, bigot in the White House, spewing publicly in front of the cameras ugly, cruel, bigoted, racist, un-American shit. So everything else should get pushed to the side. Is this what you want, America? And if it is, vote for Trump and vote for the Republicans. If you recoil from this, America, then you are obligated to vote for Democrats. I again, in my mind, the conflict here, focus on Trump, focus on eggs. The price of eggs is done. It's been met again. This was Trump, and I'll go slowly, Keith, because I know you've got a couple clips. This was Donald Trump 2 days ago in the White House at a cabinet meeting. Show me what you got, Keith.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Stop. Thanks, Keith. That was Trump 2 days ago at a cabinet meeting in the White House, calling an entire group of immigrants garbage. We don't want them in our country. Brown and black immigrants from Somalia and other countries. Garbage. They do nothing for our country. They destroy our country. Damn, son, go away. And he went after Ilhan Omar. Let me move back a little bit. He went after Ilhan Omar, called her garbage, said she shouldn't be allowed to serve in Congress. She should go back to her country. The president of the United States calling an entire group of people, immigrants, who came here legally, garbage, and demanding they all be kicked out of this country. People who came here legally, people who are citizens, Somalian-Americans living in Minneapolis, they're American citizens. And the president of the United States sat there on his big fat ass. And he said they're garbage. He went on and on like that. They're garbage. Ilhan Omar is garbage. And as Trump spewed this bigoted, racist shit against an entire group of immigrants, everybody in Trump's cabinet just sat there and nodded, and some smiled. But they sat there. I'm going to keep adjusting my picture. Damn. so I keep the sun out of my face. They just sat there in silence. Again, the president of the United States, right? The face and voice of this country, calling from the White House in front of the cameras, calling brown and black immigrants garbage. And worse, terrible people. They contribute nothing. They should be thrown out of the country. They shouldn't be allowed to serve in Congress. They come from a hellhole of a country. They will destroy our country. And Trump's entire cabinet sat there in silence and nodded. Hey, Keith, do we have a picture of that cabinet meeting? I don't know that we do. I know we do no, take that one down, Keith. That was yesterday. Thank you, brother. I'll come back to that. Thank you for prompting me, Keith. And then yesterday. So that in the cabinet meeting happened 2 days ago. And then yesterday, Trump at some event in the Oval Office with a bunch of members of Congress and business executives behind him. Trump was naturally asked about the ugly, the horrible anti-immigrant racism and bigotry that he spewed the day before in his cabinet meetings. Trump was asked about it, and he doubled down and spewed even worse and uglier and more cruel, if it's possible, racism and bigotry. This was from yesterday, Keith. Let me see if we got that audio.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also saying
I wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Walz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. All she does is complain about this country. And without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon. I hope. But what Somalia, what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And a lot of it starts with the governor. A lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama, because that's when people started coming in. And
hey, Keith, stop. I'm done. Thank you. Can't stomach it anymore. I'll spend 13 seconds on this. We know why Trump is doing this, because he's appealing to the fears among his base when it comes to brown and black immigrants in America. It's the old playbook. I've talked about it before. I used to engage in some of it. Man, right? He's trying to scare the shit out of his voters, right? That's what he's doing. Trump's numbers are bad. His immigration policy, Americans are recoiling against what he's doing on our streets. And so he's reaching down into that playbook to try to spew the ugliest, most racist bullshit he can spew about brown and black immigrants coming into this country because he's trying to scare the fuck out of voters. We know why Trump's doing it. What matters is this. This was the President of the United States, again, publicly saying that certain Americans should be thrown out of the country. Certain Americans should not be allowed to serve in Congress. Certain Americans, Somalian-Americans, are garbage. They're garbage. He kept saying that over and over and over. They're terrible people. They're going to destroy this country. They're garbage. They contribute nothing. The President of the United States, and of course, then he spews all the ugly conspiratorial bullshit about Ilhan Omar, that she married her brother and blah, 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 all the ugly, just you go down the furthest right-wing rabbit holes you can go down on Ilhan Omar. This is the shit you're going to hear. This is the President of the United States putting it out there. They're garbage people, brown and black immigrants. The immigrants from Somalia. Hold on a second, Keith. This is just pissing me off. One of these days, I'll have a professional fucking operation. But not now. Not today. No, today. Hold on. I'm not going to spill anything. It's okay. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Somalian-Americans, people who come here from Somalia, people who are in this country from Somalia, are horrible people. They're garbage people. They're destroying this country. They've turned Minnesota and Minneapolis into a hellhole. They are destroying our country. Reminder, everybody he's talking about from Somalia came here legally. Damn near everybody he's talking about is an American citizen. This is the President of the United States demanding that brown and black Americans from a certain country be tossed out of this country. That brown and black Americans from a certain country never be allowed to run for Congress. Your leader and my leader, the face of this country, 2 days in a row now publicly, has attacked an entire group of immigrant U.S. citizens. And when Trump did this yesterday, like the day before, he was surrounded by, you saw behind him, I think we have that shot, Keith. Standing behind him, Ted Cruz, Marsha Blackburn, other members of Congress, and a bunch of business executives. There, keep that up for a sec, Keith. There was the President of the United States riffing in a racist, bigoted, cruel, xenophobic, un-American fashion, and just spewing ugly, anti-immigrant, racist bullshit. And they all stood there in silence again. They all just stood there. Sean Duffy was there, and Sean Duffy nodded and smiled. Marsha Blackburn nodded. There, see on the right there, there's a business leader on the right, some business executive. As Trump is spewing racist bullshit, look at that business executive. He's looking up at the ceiling. I don't give a damn about him. They were all silent. Again, just like Trump's cabinet the day before. They're all silent. Donald Trump is the ugliest American. Donald Trump is un-American. Donald Trump is anti-American. And there for the world to see, he spews his ugly American shit. He spews his racist, anti-American, un-American shit. And they all stand there in silence. I mean, we're years beyond this, right? Silence is complicity. Thank you, Keith. We're years beyond it, right? But it needs to be said again. Silence is complicity. And I say that again to buttress the point I led with. This is not just Trump. This is on all of them. I'm sorry. That's why I said at the beginning this morning, every election must be a referendum on him. I'm growling at me and my setup. I'm not growling at you. Every election must be a referendum on him because this is a referendum on his entire party. It's a referendum on everybody in his cabinet who sat there as the racist in chief spewed his ugly racist bullshit 2 days ago. It's on them. Every election must be a referendum on them. Every election must be a referendum on the Ted Cruzes and the Marsha Blackburns and the Sean Duffys and the business executives of the world who all stood there in silence. I mean, think about that. As Donald Trump just spewed ugly racism. 2 final points. Everything Trump said 2 days ago and yesterday is un-American. Yeah, it's racist. Yeah, it's bigoted. Yeah, it's cruel. Yeah, it's xenophobic. Yeah, it's all fear-based. Yeah, it's all meant to divide, but it's un-American, what he said. I mean, e pluribus unum, out of many one. That's what America is. Everyone who comes here from Ireland and Italy and Guatemala and Somalia, everyone who comes here becomes an American. Out of the many, we all become one. What Trump spewed 2 days ago, what he spewed yesterday is the antithesis of that. It's the president of the United States saying that any immigrant from Somalia can't be American. It's Trump saying that any brown and black immigrant can't be American. Nothing could be more un-American than that. And yet, they were all silent. Trump does and says 1,000 horrible, bad, cruel, ugly, dishonest, corrupt, lawless things every day. But every now and then he does or says something that really should stop us in our tracks. And what he's done the last couple of days, ripping off any semblance of a mask, the president of the United States in the People's House 2 days in a row, Trump, the president, basically saying, I'm a fucking racist. I'm a bigot. I don't want brown and black immigrants in this country. Brown and black people from around the world can never become American. That's what he said. That should stop us in our tracks. That is way, way more important than the price of beef. or the price of coffee. That what Trump's done these past 2 days in front of the world. I mean, think about the rest of the world. The rest of the world looking at this, listening to this the last 2 days. The face of this country, America is a bigoted place, a racist place, a cruel place. It's a place to stay away from. That's what the rest of the world thinks. Man, America's a bad place. They got a fucking racist in the White House, a bigot in the White House, a guy in the White. Did you hear? They're saying in Canada, they're saying in Denmark, they're saying down in Colombia, they're saying wherever. Did you hear? The President of the United States just publicly 2 days in a row said, no black and brown immigrants in America. We don't want them. We're going to kick the ones who are here out. You cannot become an American if you're a black or brown immigrant. You can't. Did you hear the President of the United States said that? Which is why I say, forget every other issue. This is one of those issues, what Trump's done again, that compels me to tell you that the 2026 election must be a fucking referendum on Trump. Period. Is this what you want America to be? I'm going to say it. I know you'll disagree with me. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. We have an open racist, an open bigot, an open xenophobe, a proudly cruel asshole, a proudly cruel, un-American asshole in the White House. Pardon me, nothing else matters in 26. Nothing else matters in 28. I'm going to force the American people to deal with this. They got to vote on this, up or down, yay or nay. Do you want America to be led by an openly racist, bigoted, cruel, un-American asshole? Yes or no? And if you say yes, then by golly, vote Republican, because as we now know, and we've always known, the entire party owns it. 2 days ago, when Trump spewed his racism, they all sat there in silence. Silence is complicity. They all own it. Yesterday, as Trump doubled down and spewed his racism, they all stood behind him in silence. Silence is complicity. They all own it. Until he's dead or until he's in prison, every election in this country must be a referendum on Donald Trump. Quickly, and then I'll end, Keith. 6 months ago to the date, I became a Democrat. June 4th, 2025. I just want to say this. Crazy, right? From the Tea Party to the Democratic Party in like 13 years. What a crazy journey, right? That's been crazy, Joe, right? From the Tea Party to the Democratic Party in 13 years. It is crazy. But you know what's even crazier? One of America's two major political parties is now firmly an authoritarian embracing cult. You know what's even more crazier than Joe Walsh, Tea Party to the Democratic Party? One of our two major political parties is now utterly opposed to democracy, the rule of law, the Constitution, pluralism, and basic human decency. So yeah, the past 6 months, me as a Dem, been bumpy, been a bumpy road, been up and down. I've wondered, I've had doubts, I've had no regrets, but I've wondered. It hadn't been an easy road. And there are so many policy issues where me and most Democratic voters just don't think alike. But 6 months in, I'm really glad I'm a Democrat, because I'm really glad to be part of the only political party in America that truly gives a shit about democracy, the Constitution, the rule of law, pluralism, and basic human decency. I'm proud to be tied to that party, to be part of that party, even if we disagree on a whole bunch of policy issues. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry that I went on so long. Keith, I apologize for my technical difficulties. I'll figure my shit out one of these days. My Substack, guys, if you want to help keep. Hey, by the way, if you want to help keep my voice out there, and you'd like Joe Walsh to be able to set up a more professional shot here where I don't come in and complain about whatever, then by golly, become a subscriber to the Social Contract with Joe Walsh. That would help. It's the best and clearest and easiest way that you can help me keep my voice out there. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Become a subscriber. Shoot me an email, guys, about anything if you'd like. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. That's all one word, too. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.